What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at my top 15 favorite tweaks for iOS 13.5. Now, I'll have all the tweaks that I talk about linked down in the description if you guys want to check them out. Some of them are paid, so I'll be sure to notate that when it is the case, but let's go ahead and get started. So there are hundreds of thousands of different tweaks that you can put on your phone, but I've messed around with quite a few. I've kind of added and then removed some, and I don't really mess a lot with themes or like app icon packs. I do like the stock iOS icon, so I've never really messed with that. So I'm not gonna be taking a look at that necessarily, but there's plenty of other videos if you guys want to take a look at that. But again, I'm just gonna start in alphabetical order, and the first one that I use is called AnimationsBeFast Plus. And basically all this does is it speeds up the animations in iOS, just makes them a little bit snappier, and I feel like it makes a pretty noticeable difference. So definitely check that out. You can also enable like stiffness and mass and velocity and how they move. And there's also presets, so you can do the tad faster preset, the smooth and fast preset, or the super fast preset. So lots of nice stuff there. You can also change your springboard animations and then other animations, like your lock screen animations, your home screen animations, your notification center animations, and things like that. Really great app. Definitely check it out. So AnimationsBeFast Plus is under the PackX repo. Again, I'll have links to that in the description, and it was $1.50. The next one we're going to be looking at is called Arc. Now, this is a cool kind of quick access menu that you can use. Now, there's a lot of different settings you can change, like what the button style looks like, what the buttons specifically are. You can set that to all the different apps that you want. I just set it to my most used apps. So I've got Instagram, the home app, Snapchat, YouTube, and Twitter, which are just kind of my main ones. You can change the drag distance, the area width, the gesture sensitivity. You can make it translucent. You can make it on the lock screen only, all that kind of good stuff. And again, customize it to your heart's content. So I just have it set so it's in the bottom left corner. So I just swipe up from that corner and you get this cool little arcing animation, and you can choose whatever app you want to use. Let's go ahead and just go into YouTube. Pops right up. I was watching one of Marquez's videos. And then if you want to get to something else, let's go to maybe Instagram. Boom, right there. There we are in Instagram. And you can go, I don't know, Snapchat. Boom, just like that. Super cool, nice tweak there. I like that launcher. Now, Arc is found under the Dynastic repo. Again, link in the description, and it was 99 cents. So the next one we're going to be looking at is called AutoUnlockX, and if you do not download this tweak day one of jailbreaking, you are missing out. It is incredible. It completely changed how I use my phone, and I love it. So basically what AutoUnlockX does is, you know that annoying moment when you pull up your phone to unlock with Face ID and then you still have to swipe up to get to the home screen? It eliminates that step altogether. So the second you hold your phone up, boom, it auto unlocks with your face and just takes you straight to the home screen. Now, the only time it doesn't do this is when you have a notification. So if you want to, like, if you have your messages on where when you unlock with your face, it'll show you a preview of your message, it'll stay on the screen for that. But if you don't want it to stay on for that, you can also do that in the settings. So you have enable auto unlock, disable if notifications, disable if music playing, disable if flashlight on, and tap to block auto unlock. Another absolutely killer setting in here is the enable auto retry. So, you know, sometimes it doesn't get your face the first time. Maybe the lighting's not great. Maybe it's not close enough to your face, those kind of things. You can have it auto retry, which is awesome. It usually gets it first try for me, but again, having that auto retry, and you don't even have to think about it, just kind of tries and tries and tries until it can reopen your phone, which is fantastic. This is an absolutely killer tweak. I'm telling you, it changes the game altogether. It is absolutely awesome. And I do have it enabled to where if notifications are on there, it doesn't do it, because I do like to sometimes just periodically peek at my notifications without wanting to go into the home screen altogether. But again, that is all controlled in the settings. AutoUnlockX is found in the Spark Dev repo. I'll have a link in the description, and it is free. The next tweak we're going to be looking at, I actually made an entire video on it. Check the card above. Again, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, but it is called CarBridge Lite. And basically, it is a mirroring tweak that allows you, if your car has CarPlay enabled, it allows you to mirror your screen on your car screen. So you can use this for things like YouTube, viewing your photos on your phone, different cool stuff like that, even games in certain scenarios. It's great to use that. I made a whole video on this, so definitely check that out. But I use it mostly for sitting back in my car watching YouTube videos on my screen. it's fantastic. So definitely give CarBridge a look. Inside the settings, it has a cap mode, so you can cap it to 30 FPS if you want to save on CPU power. But other than that, the settings are pretty light. Now, the CarBridge tweak is found in the PackX repo again, and it is probably the most expensive tweak that we're going to talk about in this video. It's $4.99, but it is well worth it. So definitely check this out and support the developers. The next tweak we're going to be looking at is called CleanMyHomescreen. This is awesome. I use it pretty minimally, but it can be really powerful if you want it to be. So basically what it allows you to do is remove notification badges, dock background, app names, home screen page dots, your status bar, lock screen page dots, unlock text, lock screen date, notification center hints, lock screen today view, home screen today view, and then for devices with the notch, you can hide the home indicator and the lock screen floating buttons. So I have, I guess, quite a few things turned on actually now that I look at it. But the things I definitely turn off are notification badges, the dock background, the app names is a huge one. It makes it look so much cleaner. I already know what my apps are called. I don't need the name badges, you know what I mean? So really awesome way to just clean up your home screen. And as you can see, I don't have any little dots at the bottom. I don't have the little swipe up bar. I don't have obviously the app names or anything like that. Everything's just super clean and minimal, and I love it. Now, CleanHomescreen is found under the Dynastic repo, and it is free. The next one we're going to be looking at is called Cylinder. This is a really cool and really popular tweak. Basically, what it allows you to do is change the animations that you have when you're switching between pages on your home screen. So there's just way too many options for me to even name all of them, but the one I use currently, I think, is called Double Doors or Barn Doors. Yeah, it's called Double Door. So you can not only pick an animation, but you can combine different animations. I'm not sure how many you can do, maybe a lot. It's not necessarily that you can combine them, but that they alternate. So you can pick, I've picked 17 in here that I can alternate between. So every time I swipe, it could be a different animation, which is crazy cool. But yeah, so I selected just a bunch of random ones in a row. And so every time I swipe between my different app pages, I get a different little animation. And they're all super unique, super fast, super clean looking. It's really a nice way to kind of freshen up the UI, so you're not just, every time you swipe, it doesn't feel boring and mundane. But there's plenty to pick from. It's kind of crazy how many there are. Go ahead and clear that, and I'll go back to my Double Door one. But you can also do formulas. You can create a new formula and kind of change how things work. So I haven't really gotten too much into that, but you do have a lot of functionality in there and a lot of customization if you want to. You can also randomize if you want to, but I kind of just keep the same one going. But it's super clean, super fun, super customizable, and a great way to freshen up the experience on your iPhone. Now, Cylinder is found under the Big Boss repo, and it is free as well. Now, the next one we're going to be talking about is one of my all-time favorites, and it's called DotIt. It needs to be implemented in iOS 14. I mean, I know it won't be because iOS 14 has already been announced. I've got a video coming out on that soon. So basically how Dots works is it uses the app icon color to display your notifications on your OLED screen when it's locked. So if you were to get a notification from iMessages, it would give you a single little green dot on the top of your screen, and your screen will be completely dark except for that single green dot. Then maybe you get an Instagram notification, someone likes a photo, it'll give you a little purple dot. And then let's say you get a Snapchat notification, it'll give you a little yellow dot. And so at the top of your screen, it'll be all black except for the little colored dots at the top, letting you know that you have notifications. It's so nice because instead of your entire screen lighting up to do the notifications, it uses that OLED where it can keep all the pixels turned off except for the notification ones. So I love this. So I'll have my phone sitting on my nightstand at night and maybe I'm watching a show with my wife and I'll want to peek over, see if I've got a new text that I'm waiting on. And so I can just glance out of the corner of my eye without tapping my phone and I'll just see the little green dot and I'll know that, yeah, maybe I got a notification. I can pick up my phone and check it. So super, super cool. Now you can use the default icons. So like I said, green for messages, yellow for Snapchat, purple for Instagram, that kind of stuff. You can also have it keep the dots after you're viewing. It's not really that helpful. You can dismiss when you wake up your phone or rise to wake it up. You can keep on always on, which basically means you have to tap the dots at the top. I didn't like it. It kind of was glitchy. You can change the dot size. You can change the pulse size. So Dots 2 can be found in the PackX repo, and it is $2, but it is probably the best $2 you're going to spend when you jailbreak. All right, real quick, I know a lot of you are wondering, why is he making a tech video in his car? Well, one, it's super nice out. Two, I'm rarely ever home. And three, what other tech YouTubers do you know that make videos in their car? Probably very few, but I do. Gotta have something that sets you apart. The next tweak we're gonna be looking at is called Double Tap Lock, and it does exactly what it sounds like it does. When you have it enabled, no settings at all, just enable or disable. And once you've got it on there, you just double tap and your home screen locks. That's all it is. So if you're anywhere, you don't have to press the power button to lock it. You can just bop, bop anywhere on the screen. I should say anywhere on the screen when you are not inside of an app. If you're inside of an app, it won't work. But if you're anywhere on your home screen at all, double tap, boom, your screen's gonna lock. Double tap lock is found in the Spark Dev repo and it's free. Now the next one we're gonna be looking at is called F-Dots, and this kind of does the same thing as CleanMyHomescreen a little bit, but unfortunately I found that CleanMyHomescreen doesn't work as well for hiding notification dots, which is weird because it's got a setting for that. Now, as you guys may or may not know, Apple tried to quickly patch over the ability to jailbreak with 13.5.1. So I luckily turned my auto updates off so I wouldn't update to that. But since Apple did come out with 13.5.1, my phone was prompting me to update to that. And so I had the little one notification on my settings icon, and I just didn't want to see that anymore. So I downloaded F-Dots, and basically the different things that F-Dots does is it basically stands for you know what dots. And you can hide page dots, hide badges, hide update dots, and hide beta dots. So basically I only use it to tick that hide badges so I don't see the notification badges on my app, so I don't have to worry about 13.5.1 being in my face all the time. F-Dots is found in the PackX repo and it is free. What the? There's like a turkey over there. Look at this freaking turkey. What are you doing, bro? I thought it was like a giant armadillo or something, but no, it's just a turkey. So if you have an iPad or are familiar with the iPad OS system, it uses this floaty dock to where it has kind of the ability to put whatever you want at the bottom, kind of like a Mac does, where it has the apps at the bottom of the screen, but then you also have the little section on the right for what your most recent used apps are. So this is super, super awesome. It basically does that. I've got my preset apps I use the most, so Messages, Chrome, Music, and YouTube down there, and then it's got a little slot at the bottom for most recent apps. So I've got settings and camera because those are the most recent ones I've used, but you can also customize it. So you can change how many icons you want on there. It looks like you can have up to 10, but I keep it at 6 because they're too small if there's 10. You can have your recent apps. You can set up to 6 recent apps, but again, it's gonna be pretty small. I just keep it at 2, and then you can put suggested apps down there if you want to. It also has the ability to dock apps there, and then you've got a slide over and a split view you can put up there. And it also has the ability to blacklist apps if you don't want them to appear in the dock down there. And then you can also change the icon spacing. You can dock it above the keyboard if you want to. So it'll basically, if you're using the software keyboard, you can still swipe up and have it appear over the keyboard. And then you can change the dock color if you want to as well. So a lot of nice customization features. I kind of use it stock as it came, but it's just such an awesome app. And I love that interface because it's so recognizable to me because I have an iPad Pro, so I'm very used to that interface. So Floaty Dock is found in the Big Boss repo, and believe it or not, it's free. That's crazy. For all that functionality for it to be free, bravo to the developer. Now, I don't really use this one very often. It's really actually good for, well, the reason it exists is probably not the best reason, and I'll go ahead and tell you what the name of it is. It's self-explanatory. It's called Hide Your Apps, and it does exactly that. It hides your apps. So maybe if you have an app that you don't want somebody to know about, you could use that to hide the app. I don't really like to do that because it's just gonna come off as sketchy if I'm hiding apps in there. But one reason that I downloaded it is because sometimes when I'm trying to focus on maybe video editing, which is most of what I do, or homework when I was in school back a year ago now. I wasn't using it then, but you know what I mean. I basically wanted to be able to get rid of distractions. So using the example of video editing, a lot of times if I get Snapchat notifications or Instagram notifications, I get distracted and it just pulls me out of what I'm doing. So basically I hide the app altogether so that if I try to go on my phone, I have to go into hide your apps, go into select, you know, the one I want to re-enable, Snapchat, whatever it be, and then respring my device and all that kind of stuff. So basically it adds an extra layer of difficulty for me to access the apps. It helps me not get as distracted as I'm capable of being, which I think is really useful in some cases. Again, you could use it if you want to, you know, hide apps from somebody, but don't be sketchy. Basically how it works is you can enable or disable it, go into what app you want to select. You could just pick like, I don't know, reminders, and then go ahead and respring. Another cool use for this app is just if you don't want to see all of those stock Apple apps, but you don't want to delete them. Or if you have a lot of like games or things that you don't use that often, you just want to clear them off your screen so you don't have to look at them. You can go in, select as many as you want, respring, and just get rid of those apps altogether without having to delete them. Now, hide your apps is found in the Manushkas repo. I hope I said that right. Again, that's linked in the description and it is free. The next tweak we're going to be looking at is called Insta Launcher 2. This is, again, very similar to Arc, but it is an absolute must-have. I would probably say get one or the other, but Insta Launcher is really cool in and of itself, and I actually run both, so you could run both. But basically what it does is it gives you this little bar on the side of your screen. Now you can customize where this bar is located. You can customize what its functionality is as well and kind of what it shows up as, but you swipe over on it and it gives you access to whatever, how I have it set, whatever my 4 preset icons are, and then my 2 most recent. So I've got YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter, and then I've got Cydia Packet Manager down there, and then the Settings app, because those are my 2 most recent apps. But it also gives you your little notifications on there, so it's really handy for that if you want to quickly go to the apps that have notifications. But again, you can completely customize this inside Insta Launcher. Just go inside the settings, go to customize. You can enable or disable it. You can make it classic, dock, drawer, and then you can change the theme. You can change the launcher size. You can change the activation side, the position. You can change whether you want haptic feedback or not. You can change badges, change the color of the badges. I mean, this app is crazy in its functionality. Again, you can set favorite apps to up to, or it looks like you can have 4, but you can put as many as you want. Maybe more than that. So if you switch to classic, you get kind of this alphabetical order, so you can go and find specific apps you're looking for, swipe right over to them and open that up. So that is super handy. I actually might leave it at that. I think I like that better to get to whatever apps you want. And then again, I had it set as dock, but if you switch to drawer also, you get this cool view where you can see this drawer of all your different apps, and then you can hold with one finger and swipe with the other finger to get to different apps. So that's super, super cool. Now, Insta Launcher 2 is found in the PackX repo, and it is $3, but it is well worth the $3. Now, oddly enough, I mentioned that iOS 14 just got announced yesterday, and I do have a video coming out. I'm going to be updating my phone to the developer beta and taking a look at some of the new features with you guys. But this next week we're going to be looking at gives you some of that functionality that iOS 14 has just now implemented, but it's been around for a while. This tweak is called Iris. Basically what it does, it allows you to group your messages into different color coordinated groups, and it also allows you to pin messages. There's a lot of other functionality also found inside. You can hide conversations and then toggle between those hidden conversations if you want. But if you have a conversation that's maybe a little more private, maybe even a conversation, for example, if my wife and I had a conversation and I handed someone my phone and I didn't want them reading my conversations with my wife, I could just hide that message real quick and then unhide it when I get my phone back. Things like that. I could see it as an application. You can hide unknown senders, which is a really cool feature. Hide badges so you don't see the little dot notification when you have that. You can actually require a Face ID or Touch ID unlock to access those hidden conversations, which is super cool. All kinds of awesome functionality inside this tweak that you can customize to your liking. But if you go ahead and go inside messages here, you can see up top you've got the Iris button here that you can switch between your different color coordinated conversations. I haven't put anybody in groups yet. I don't use this as much, but I could go ahead and demonstrate it here. So let's go ahead and long press on this conversation, go to tag, and then you can, let's put it in the purple conversation group. So you'll see a little purple circle pop up on the side. And then if I go ahead up here, go to the purple group, there it is. There is my purple messages. And you can go ahead and switch back to the normal, and I'll go ahead and I'll put this group conversation here, long press that, put it into the yellow group. Then if I go up here to the yellow group, swipe down, boom, there's that conversation. Then let's go back to purple. There's that conversation. Let's go back to the normal, and you get everything. Now, again, like I said, you can also pin conversations. So I've got my conversation with my wife pinned to the top. So it's a little hard to get used to because you're used to your newest notification being at the top. But once you get used to it, it's okay. But it does put that little star next to your pinned conversations. So if I were to go ahead and pin this to the top, it would also appear there next to the conversation with my wife. I'll go ahead and unpin that just by swiping to the left and then hitting pin. Iris is so powerful in its capabilities, and it adds functionality to the Messages app that even in iOS 14, you don't have the ability to do. Now, Iris is found in the Chariz repo. I'm not sure that's how you say it, but it's spelled C-H-A-R-I-Z. So hopefully I got that right. But basically it's $199, but this is probably up there right with Insta Launcher and Arc and AutoUnlockX. I'd probably even put it above those as a tweak you just have to download, especially if you're a heavy iMessage user. Now, the next tweak we're going to be looking at is a lock screen customization tweak called Jellyfish. Now, this one is awesome. It's pretty simple in what it does. There's a lot of functionality you can change, a lot of customization. You can go into the settings and turn the show weather on or off. You can change the color time. You can change the alignment. You can change the text thickness, the text size. You can choose dynamic color. You can use third-party tweak colors. But basically, all it does is make your lock screen look better. So if I go ahead and swipe down on my lock screen, let me get rid of these notifications. Basically, you can see I'm using an iOS 14 wallpaper. It's got this nice clean font. I've got it under thick with 2 C's or 3 C's because I really like the big, bold text. But you can also do a custom color if you want. So I could pick maybe this purple or this blue down at the bottom and customize that with a specific hex value. But I just let it do dynamic color or whatever they call it. And it, again, tells your weather and your lock at the top. So really clean, nice design. And again, I don't work a lot with mod packs or theme packs. So I just like this nice, clean, date and time. It's really nice. So Jellyfish is found in the Dynastic repo, and it is $199. The next tweak we're going to be looking at, again, is one of those must-have. It basically changes your control center back a few generations to that swipe up from the bottom where you've got all of your different control center functionality there, and you can completely customize it to your liking. And basically, how I've got mine set is stock, so I swipe up from the top right corner, and it gives me these settings here in this super nice and clean control center. You've got all your media controls here. If you've got something playing, it will display right here. You've got your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, airplane mode, cellular data, and then your AirDrop controls on. And if you actually turn the Wi-Fi off, it will actually disconnect. It won't just disable it temporarily like the stock Apple stuff does. You can also tap the battery indicator to turn on low power mode, which is super nice to be able to do that quickly. And then over here, you can see kind of what's connected. So we've got AirPlay, Bluetooth, and Do Not Disturb enabled right there. You can see all those things that are on. And then at the bottom, you've got weather right there. It always it's a little buggy for me. It always says tornado, even though it's not a tornado. So if you go ahead and tap it again and then go back to it, it actually shows what's going on. And I'm not in the Pacific Ocean, so yeah, sometimes it's just a little buggy, but that's just what you'd expect. Then at the bottom, you've got these little different icons for changing your rotation lock, do not disturb. You've got your share button, like your basically, what is it, screen sharing or AirPlay controls right there. You've got your flashlight, you've got timer, calculator, camera, your home button, your screen recording button, your Apple TV remote button, and then your alarm button, all there at the bottom. So really nice customization, easy access for all those different control center icons. And I prefer it at the bottom of the screen. I think it's just easier to access, especially if you have a big screen like I have on the 11 Pro Max here. So Prism is found in the PackX repo, and it is $349. Now, some of these I'm going to skip over that you see on screen. Scribble is one that I didn't get to work very well, so I'm not going to talk about it. You guys might have better luck. Basically, it allows you to draw a password for your phone. Snowboard is basically where you can install different themes, but I don't use it. I just don't prefer it. Weatherground actually allows you to overlay the stock weather app kind of onto your home screen. It actually looks really clean, but I found that it drained my battery life more than I liked, so I just turned it off. So I'm actually going to do one more, kind of a bonus one. I said 15, but we'll make it 16. And this last one is called ShortLook. It is absolutely fantastic. It goes hand in hand for me with dots too. But basically what ShortLook does when enabled is it gives you your notifications on your lock screen in this nice big kind of taking up a good portion of the screen, but using OLED kind of fashion. I've also got it set to use my contact photos when I get a text message, so that's nice to be able to see quickly who texted me. And if your phone is unlocked, it will actually give you a text message preview at the bottom, which is super, super cool. So I'll go ahead and send myself a test notification here. Boom. That's kind of what it looks like. And then you can see also at the top what dots look like kind of working together with it. I absolutely love that combo. Let's send another test notification. Just one from YouTube Studio. And you can see the dots at the top there. I'm going to go ahead and do another one. Just look at dots. It is just so cool. So ShortLook is absolutely awesome. I love it, especially with messages. It gives you a nice big notification when you get a message with the contact picture with the message down at the bottom. I absolutely love it, especially in conjunction with Dots too. So ShortLook is found in the Dynastic repo again, and it is $2.99, but again, well worth it. All right, guys, and those are my favorite jailbreak tweaks for iOS 13.5. I'm sure I'll make a follow-up to this maybe in the coming weeks if I find a few more tweaks that I really like, but these are the ones I use most, and I promise you they are well worth the money. And for the ones that are free, I'm telling you, you got to get them ASAP. They're absolutely awesome, but make sure you support the developers because without them, none of this would even be possible. So thanks again for watching, guys. Drop a like on the video if you loved it. Tell me in the comments down below, what's your favorite tweak we looked at today? Or did I miss one that you absolutely love? I'd love to have a conversation about it down in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be one of the first to see every single new video on the second I put it out. We'll see you in the next one.